Thanks for joining. Ever wondered how to transform your ideas into stunning visuals just by typing? Gemini's image generation capabilities are a game-changer for creators. Welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the exciting world of image generation with Gemini. We'll start by understanding how Gemini interprets your ideas, then move into the art of crafting truly effective prompts. You'll learn how to direct Gemini to produce specific artistic styles like Pixar 3D and anime, and how to achieve stunning photorealistic and even hyperrealistic results. Finally, we'll cover essential tips for troubleshooting and refining your generated images. Get ready to unleash your inner artist. First up, let's explore what makes Gemini such a powerful tool for visual creation. It's not just about turning text into pictures. It's about how Gemini understands the nuances of your descriptions and translates them into coherent, high-quality images. It's like having a creative assistant that can interpret your vision and bring it to life with incredible fidelity. Gemini excels because it processes prompts with a deep understanding of natural language. It doesn't just look for keywords. It grasps the context, relationships between objects, and even implied emotions. This allows it to interpret complex requests and translate them into visual elements, recognizing specific artistic styles and focusing on the crucial details you provide. The more clearly you describe your vision, the better Gemini can render it. The key takeaway here is that Gemini's image generation goes beyond simple keyword matching. It truly understands the language and context of your prompts. This means the more detail and clarity you infuse into your descriptions, the more accurately Gemini can bring your specific visual ideas to life. Now that we know how Gemini listens, let's learn how to speak its language. Crafting an effective prompt is the bedrock of generating fantastic images. It's about being clear, descriptive, and intentional with every word. Think of your prompt as a blueprint for your masterpiece. A strong prompt typically breaks down into several key components. Start with the subject. Who or what is the main focus? Then, describe the action they are performing. Where is this scene taking place? That's your setting. Critically, define the style you're aiming for. Finally, add specific details like colors, lighting, and the overall mood to really flesh out your vision. Each element helps Gemini build a clearer picture. Let's look at a basic yet effective prompt. This example clearly states the subject: a majestic golden retriever. It describes the action: playing fetch. The setting is specific: in a sun-drenched park, surrounded by lush green trees and a clear blue sky. We add details like happy and energetic. And finally, specify the photorealistic style. This comprehensive approach leaves little room for ambiguity, guiding Gemini toward a precise result. The most important thing to remember about crafting prompts is to provide a clear, structured blueprint. Always include the subject, their action, the setting, your desired style, and any specific details that will enhance the image. A well-structured prompt is your direct line to generating exactly what you envision. Next, let's dive into some specific artistic styles. Starting with the beloved Pixar 3D aesthetic. This style is instantly recognizable, known for its distinct character design and vibrant, storytelling environments. With the right prompting, you can guide Gemini to create images that feel like they're straight out of your favorite animated films. Pixar's signature style features characters with exaggerated, often rounded forms, and incredibly expressive faces that convey emotion clearly. The color palette is typically bright and highly saturated, making scenes pop. Environments are detailed, often whimsical, and designed to support storytelling. Strong, clear lighting is also a hallmark, adding depth and mood. When prompting, focus on these visual cues. Here's a prompt designed to evoke that distinct Pixar feel. We explicitly state, Pixar 3D animation style. Then we describe our character: a grumpy but lovable robot with large, innocent eyes and rusted metallic parts. The action is carefully watering a tiny potted plant. And the setting is a futuristic, cluttered workshop. Adding warm glow from a single lamp helps capture the lighting typical of their films. It's all about those specific details that define the style. To achieve a Pixar-like image, explicitly state Pixar 3D animation style in your prompt. Then, Emphasize characters with exaggerated, rounded features, and detail your environments with bright, vivid elements that contribute to a whimsical or heartwarming mood. The more descriptive you are about these stylistic traits, the better your results will be. From 3D animation, let's shift to the captivating world of anime. This style, originating from Japan, has its own unique visual language, characterized by distinct character designs, vibrant scenes, and dynamic action. Gemini can perfectly capture these elements when you provide the right guidance. Anime is often defined by its characters, large, expressive eyes, which convey a wealth of emotion. Poses are frequently dynamic, and action is often emphasized with speed lines and visual effects. Hair and clothing can be highly stylized and exaggerated. The settings can range from mundane to wildly fantastical, always with a strong sense of visual storytelling. When prompting, emphasize these elements to guide Gemini. For an anime aesthetic, we begin with anime style. Our subject is a determined young female samurai with long, flowing black hair and bright, fiery eyes. Note the emphasis on expressive features. The action is leaping across a moonlit rooftop, katana drawn, immediately setting a dynamic scene, adding cherry blossoms falling around her, and dramatic lighting contributes to the characteristic visual flair. It's about capturing that dramatic, stylized energy. To effectively generate anime-style images, make sure to explicitly include anime style in your prompt. Then, focus your descriptions on the exaggerated and expressive features of characters, especially their eyes and hair, alongside dynamic actions and vibrant, stylized environments. These details will help Gemini perfectly capture the essence of anime. Sometimes, you don't want a cartoon or an illustration. You want an image that looks like it was captured by a camera. Generating photorealistic images with Gemini is incredibly powerful, allowing you to create scenes that are virtually indistinguishable from real photographs. It's about mimicking the real world down to the finest detail. To achieve true photorealism, you need to think like a photographer. Describe textures, materials, and surface qualities in detail. Specify realistic lighting conditions. Is it natural daylight, soft studio light, or harsh artificial light? Include accurate reflections, shadows, and subtle imperfections. You can even use camera terms like macro shot or bokeh effect to guide Gemini's rendering, making the image feel truly authentic. This prompt aims for photorealism by being incredibly specific. We start with photorealistic close-up. We describe the subject's condition: a weathered vintage leather journal lying open on an old wooden desk. Adding a quill pen resting on its aged pages brings more detail. The lighting is crucial. Soft, dappled sunlight streaming through a window illuminating dust particles. Finally, intricate wood grain visible, shallow depth of field, adds professional photographic qualities. Every word counts here. When aiming for photorealistic images, always start with the keyword photorealistic in your prompt. Then, layer on extremely specific details about textures, materials, lighting, and even subtle imperfections or photographic effects. These specific descriptors are what truly convince Gemini to render an image that looks like a real photograph. Taking realism a step further, hyperrealism pushes the boundaries, often depicting subjects with an almost photographic exactness, but with an amplified sense of detail or focus that can be even more striking than reality itself. It's about making the ordinary extraordinary through intense scrutiny. Hyperrealism isn't just a photograph, it's a heightened reality. It exaggerates detail and clarity, focusing on microtextures, individual pores, or minute imperfections that might be overlooked in a standard photo. Colors and contrasts are often intensified to make everything pop, and sharpness is paramount across the entire image. The goal is to create something so incredibly detailed it feels more real than real, drawing the viewer in with its intensity. This prompt pushes for hyperrealism. We specify hyperrealistic macro shot. Our subject is a single dewdrop perfectly balanced on the tip of a vibrant green blade of grass. The key is the reflection, reflecting a tiny, inverted landscape of morning sky and distant trees. We then add intricate spider silk strands visible and demand extreme depth of field for unparalleled sharpness, all under natural soft morning light. It's about obsessive detail. Now it's your turn to practice taking realism to the next level. I want you to take a simple prompt like a cute cat sleeping on a sunny windowsill and rewrite it to achieve a truly hyper-realistic effect. Focus on those micro details and heightened sensory input we just discussed. Remember, this exercise is also detailed in your free lab guide, link below. Pause the video now, apply what you've learned, and give it a try. Welcome back. Let's look at an example of what a good hyper-realistic rewrite for our cat prompt might look like. Notice how this version starts with hyper-realistic macro photograph and then dives into specific textures. Ginger tabby cat curled tightly on a sun-warmed, dusty wooden windowsill. It highlights individual whiskers sharply defined, microscopic dust motes, and delicate pink veins inside its floppy ear. We even get fur texture like velvet and a vele, barely visible drop of condensation. This level of granular detail is what truly sells the hyper-realistic effect. To achieve hyper-realism, start your prompt by clearly stating hyper-realistic or hyper-realistic macro shot. Then, go beyond typical photo details. Describe the minutiae. Individual strands, tiny imperfections, reflections, and textures at a magnified level. Your goal is to create an image that feels intensely real, almost as if you're looking at it under a microscope, making the ordinary feel extraordinary. Generating images with AI is an iterative process. It's rare to get a perfect result on the first try, and that's completely normal. Learning to troubleshoot and refine your prompts is a crucial skill that will dramatically improve your output. Let's look at how you can continuously improve your generated images. The secret to great image generation is iterative prompting. Start by critically analyzing your initial results. What looks good, what's missing, or what's not quite right. Then, go back to your prompt and make targeted adjustments. This could mean adding more specific details, removing elements that aren't working, adjusting your stylistic instructions, or even just rephrasing parts of your prompt to be clearer. Think of it as sculpting with words. Remember, generating perfect images often requires an iterative approach. Don't be afraid to try, evaluate, and refine your prompts. By analyzing your initial results and making targeted adjustments, whether it's adding details, removing ambiguities, or tweaking stylistic instructions, you'll consistently improve your outcomes and achieve the exact visual you're aiming for. You've taken a significant step in your image generation journey with Gemini. We've seen that Gemini thrives on nuanced, detailed prompts, understanding context, and specific instructions. Remember to structure your prompts clearly, covering the subject, action, setting, style, and critical details. You now have the knowledge to master distinct styles, like the charming Pixar 3D, the dynamic anime, and the stunning photorealistic and hyperrealistic aesthetics. Most importantly, embrace the iterative process. Your prompts will get better with every refinement, leading you to incredible visual creations. If you found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe for more practical guides like this one. Remember, the full lab guide is linked in the video description below. What other specific image styles or scenarios are you curious about generating with Gemini? Let us know in the comments.